Okay, so today's topic requires a little bit of a foreword. It is because today's topic is remote viewing, or remote viewing based. It is documentation of a remote viewing event carried out by a CIA operative, likely, who was the monitor of this, and someone that is a remote viewer. A remote viewer is someone who can does psychically perceive a location, person, place, or thing, just something that is where their physical body is not. You can refuse to believe this. It's all good. No skin off my nose. Mars exploration, May 22nd, 1984. Method of site acquisition, sealed envelope coupled with geographic coordinates. The sealed envelope was given to the subject immediately prior to the interview. The envelope was not opened until after the interview. In the envelope was a 3x5 card with the following information. The planet Mars, time of interest, approximately 1 million years BC. Selected geographic coordinates provided by the parties requesting the information were verbally given to the subject during the interview. 727-101-604-908. And obviously, you'll be able to intuitively tell that Mon is monitor and sub is subject. Alright. The date is May 22nd, 1984, and the time this begins is 10:09 a.m. Alright, 10 minutes after, ready to start. Monitor states, alright, now using the information in the envelope I've provided, exclusively focusing your attention now using the information in the envelope, focus on 40.89 degrees north, 9.55 degrees west. Subject. I want to say it looks, I don't know, it sort of looks, I kind of got an oblique view of a pyramid, or pyramid form. It's very high. It kind of sitting in a depressed area. Alright? It's yellowish, ochre colored. Alright, move in time to the time indicated in the envelope I've provided you and describe what is happening. I'm tracking severe clouds, more like a dust storm. It's a geologic problem. Seems to be like just a minute, I've got to iron this out. It's really weird. Just report your raw perceptions at the time. You're still early in the session. I'm looking at an after effect of some major geologic problem. Okay, go back into the time before the geologic problem. Total difference. It's, before, there's no, I don't know, hell. It's like mountains of dirt appear, then disappear where you go before. See, large flat surfaces, very smooth angles, walls. They're really large, though. I mean, they're megalithic. Alright, at this period in time now before the geologic activity, look around in and around this area and see if you can find any activity. I'm seeing it's like a perception of shadow of people. Very tall, thin. It's only a shadow. It's as if they were there and they're not there anymore. Go back to a period of time when they were there. It's like I get a lot of static on a line, and everything, it's breaking up all the time. Very fragmentary pieces. Just report the raw data. Don't try to put things together. Just report the raw data. I just keep seeing very large people. They appear thin and tall, but they're very large, wearing some kind of strange clothes. Alright, now holding in this time period, I want to move from your physical location in space to another physical location. But in this time period, move now to 46.45 north, 353.22 east. Move in this time to 46.45 north, 353.22 east. Deep inside of a cavern. Not a cavern, more like a canyon. I'm looking up the sides of a steep wall that seemed to go on forever. And there's like a structure with it's like the wall of the canyon itself has been carved. Again, I'm getting a very large structures. No intricacies. Huge sections of smooth stone. Do the structures have insides and outsides? Yes, it's like a rabbit warren, corners of rooms. They're really huge. I don't feel like I'm standing in one. It's just really huge. Perception is that the ceiling is very high, walls very wide. Real time plus 22 minutes. Yes, that would be correct. Alright, I'd like to move now to another location nearby. Alright, move from this point in time to 45.86 north, 354.1 east, 45.86 north, 354.1 east. They have appears to be the end of a very large road, and there's a marker thing that's very large. I keep getting a Washington Monument overlay. It's like an obelisk. An overlay in remote viewing is when the perceiver, the remote viewer, has something that is a parallel to what they're perceiving at that moment. An overlay, it just looks like something. Alright, from this point then, let us move to another point. Move now to 35.26 north, 213.24 east. Moving this time to 35.26 north, 213.24 east. It's like I'm in the middle of a huge circular basin of the range mountains by almost all the way around. Very ragged mountains, very tall. Basin's very, very large. Scale seems to be off or something. It's just really big. Everything's big. I understand the problem. Just continue. Just see a right angle corner to something, but that's all. I don't see anything else. As a side note, in a book I'd read by Courtney Brown, he says that occasionally when you see a right angle corner, you see down like into a corner and only see that. Occasionally it's because somebody or something, maybe some entity, is preventing you from perceiving the location that you're supposed to be perceiving. Okay, then let's move into a little different place. Very close. Move from the point you are now, in this time, to 34.6 north, 213.09 east. Move now in this time to 34.6 north, 213.09 east. The clusters of squares up and down, it's like you want to make them square anyway. They're almost flush with the ground, and it's like they're connected. Something very white or reflects light. What's your position of observation as you look at this thing that reflects light? I'm amid a oblique left angle. Sun's weird. Look back down at the ground now, and we're going to move just a little bit from this place. 34.57 north, 212.22 east. Very close by. Now move over to 34.57 north, 212.22 east. It's like I can just perceive a radiating pattern of some kind. It's like some really strange intersecting kinds of roads that are dug into valleys, where a road is just a little below the edge. Tell me about the shapes of these things. They're like real neat channels. They're very deep. It's like the road went down. Okay. Now I notice electrically you're nulled out a little bit, and I want you to stay deep and recapture your focus here. It's really tough. It seems like it's just always very sporadic. I realize that it's very important that you maintain your focus. I have a movement exercise for you, and this is some considerable distance away. So holding the focus in time, remember the focus in time that you had before, and moving now to 15 degrees north, 198 degrees east. Take some time and get back deep. See the intersecting, whatever those are aqueduct type things, these rounded bottom carved channels, like roadbeds. See pointed tops of something on the horizon. Even the horizon looks funny and weird. It's like different, misty. Like it's really far away, very vague. Okay. Another movement now to 80 degrees south, 64 degrees east, 64 degrees east. Move now in time to 80 degrees south, 64 degrees east. See pyramids. Can't tell if it's overlay or not, because they're different. Okay. Do these pyramids have insides and outsides? Got both, and they're huge. It's really, it's an interesting perception I'm getting. Monitor note to self. I think that he's losing his ability to move accurately, but he is attracted to things that are interesting. So we're going to go with the zone. We're going to let him go ahead and explore what seems to be interesting to him, rather than move on the targets indicated here. It's filtered from storms or something. Say that again. What's up? They're like shelters from storms. The structures you're seeing? Yeah, they're designed for that. Alright, go inside one of these and find some activity to tell me about. Plus 37 minutes of real time. different chambers, but they're almost stripped of any kind of furnishings or anything. It's like a strictly functional place for sleeping, or that's not a good word, hibernations in some form. I get real raw inputs, storms, savage storm, and sleeping through storms. Tell me more about the ones who sleep through the storms. Very tall, again, very large people, but they're thin. They look thin because of their height, and they dress like in, oh hell, it's like a real light silk, but it's not flowing type of clothing. It's like cut to fit. Move close to one of them and ask them to tell you about themselves. They're ancient people. They're dying. It's past their time or age. Tell me about this. They're very philosophic about it. They're looking for a way to survive, and they just can't. Plus 40 minutes. Definite voltage reversal. Can't seem to get their way out. They can't seem to find their way out. So they're hanging on while they look or wait for something to return or something coming with the answer. What is it they're waiting for? There evidently was a group or party of them that went to find a new place to live. It's like I'm getting all kinds of overwhelming input of the corruption of their environment. It's failing very rapidly, and this group went somewhere like a long way to find another place to live. What was the cause of the atmospheric disturbance or the environment disturbance? I see a picture of a, oh hell. It's almost a warp and oh god, this is difficult. It's like going, let's see, the raw data. Oh, I get a globe. It's like a globe that goes through a comet's tail, or it's through a river of something, but it's all very cosmic. It's like space pictures. Alright, now before you leave this individual, ask him if there's any way that ask him if he knows who you are, and is there a way you can help him in his present predicament. All I get is that they must wait. Doesn't know who I am. Think he perceives I'm a hallucination or something. Okay. When the others left, these people are waiting. When the others left, how did they go? Get an impression of, don't know what the hell it is. It looks like the inside of a larger boat. Very rounded walls and shiny metal. Go ahead with them on their journey and find out where it is they go. Impression of a really crazy place with volcanoes and gas pockets and strange plants. Very volatile place. It's very much like going from the frying pan into the fire. Difference is there seems to be a lot of vegetation where the other place didn't have it. It's a different kind of storm. Alright, it's time for you to come back now to the sound of my voice, into present time, to right now, the 22nd of May, 1984. The sound of my voice. Move now back to the room, back to the sound of my voice. Back further now to the sound of my voice on the 22nd of May, 1984. Personally, what I think is the most interesting about this is the fact that not only is this a document that exclusively is based in psychic interaction as a human being, with the outside world, but also between a human being and something that is by definition extraterrestrial. It reminds me of a very good book by a man who was by others claimed to be the most talented natural psychic to have ever lived. He was also contracted by the U.S. Army and the CIA in the 80s and 90s, and an unknown organization which black-bagged him and took him to a deep underground military base. And this book is titled Penetration, The Question of Human and Extraterrestrial Telepathy. It documents a scenario where he agreed to be paid $1,000 a day to remote view something. He showed up at the location that was determined, and he was taken by well-dressed men in suits, black-bagged, of course, to a helicopter, and then he was flown somewhere and then taken deep underground, and from there he remote viewed the backside of the moon. He stated that he saw humanoid beings. He saw lights, he saw biodome sort of structures, shattered, old, and new. So if this document I read interested you, I truly believe that Ingo's book, Penetration, The Question of Extraterrestrial and Human Telepathy, will greatly interest you as well. Have a swell day.